Well, hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. My name is Amy, and I will be with you for the show today. And I'm looking forward to being with you for the next couple of hours and just relaxing here at the waterhole. And in this moment, enjoying two huge elephant boys that clearly have already splashed themselves with a bit of muddy water and are hanging out here at Safari Hall in Namibia. Now, remember, everyone, that this is a live and interactive show, so please do send through your comments and questions. I would love to hear from you. You always have some great chats and can engage in a lot of conversation, which is cool. And you can do so on the Wild Bird app or the website. You can also chat to us in the YouTube chat stream, or you can join the conversation on X using the hashtag Wild.
And as today's elephant music play, the zippers have come down to a jump. Apologies there for a little bit of audio issues, everybody. But I trust that we have managed to sort that out. Nevertheless, a very warm welcome to you all, and I'm very excited to be here. Remember to chat to me, and how wonderful to have these zebras here coming also for a drink. It looks like it is warm everywhere today. Ari, lovely to hear from you. You're joining us from the Netherlands. It's good to have you with us today. PB and Jam, it's a pleasure. As much as I share with all of you, I also learn through this show as well. That's why I love doing it. And we have some great conversations and things that I also have to go back and look up and research. Just about zebras the other day, actually, with regards to the interbreeding between different species in certain overlapping areas due to low numbers of certain species and them seeking out other species of zebra to basically mate with, and the challenge that poses to conservation from a genetic point of view. So that was very interesting, both in East Africa and in parts of Namibia. Mercedes and Joanne, lovely to hear from you both as well. It's always great to know that you are with us and watching. Looks like one zebra's been chasing around the other ones. Fuzzy Dunlop, it is most certainly. Happy Waterhole Wednesday. Oh, there's a little one. Oh, that's very cute. Foley, I couldn't agree more. I think this channel, Wild Earth, all our shows, it is a wonderful place for viewers and people from all over the world to come and just enjoy something that is calming, relaxing, tranquil, as you say, and a chance to just focus on the natural world and the beauty that it has still in it. Well, it looks like the zebras have moved away slightly after they've had their drink. But there was some sort of commotion earlier, a little bit of running around here or there. Oh, that's the other species. That's the other species of zebra. Can you see the difference? The mountain zebras on the left. Those bellies are much thicker. Those bellies, sorry, the stripes are much thicker, more dense, and stop under the belly. And they have a little bit of a dewlap. Oh, this is cool. We were just talking about the different species potentially interbreeding, and that is a problem to the endangered species that actually have limited gene pool. And now you're diluting that gene pool with mountain and plain zebras interbreeding potentially, or that it's been recorded before. But you can see that this is a separate group, a different species of zebra. And you see how white the bellies are underneath? Those stripes don't carry all the way under. Then, second of all, you'll notice how the stripes are slightly more compact, more densely packed along the side of the body, even underneath the neck. And they have this little bit of a dewlap under the sort of the bottom of the head neck area. And this being the Hartman's mountain zebra compared to the Cape mountain zebra, which of course we get in the Cape area of South Africa, most famously in the Mountain Zebra National Park, which has the mountain zebras with the slightly pink noses. Yes, I would say PB and Jam that their legs are dark as well. You can see that actually, almost a bit of the white hair that's on their bodies also being like they've walken like they've walked through either mud or charcoal that sort of stained their legs. So yes, I do notice that the bottom of their legs are definitely dark as well. But how cool to have both species on screen at the same time. That was very unexpected. I must say, I haven't seen the mountain zebras at Safari Hook before. And what they have quite unique to the mountain zebra in comparison to the plains is if we look above their tails, they've got almost, I don't know what this little one is doing. Goodness me. It looks like a plait sort of pattern, almost like, oh, are we going? Is there mating happening? It looks like that one is definitely trying to mate. Aim was slightly off there, but success. And I think that mating behavior actually causes some excitement amongst the harem. And you very nicely portrayed my plait that I was trying to explain above the tail, sort of like one squiggly line that goes from left to right. It's a very beautiful. Well, all seems to have calmed down again, and it looks like we might actually get them coming for a drink. Raw, that is 100% correct. So when it comes to the mountain zebra, both subspecies, whether it's Cape or Hartman's, they don't have the shadow stripe. It also makes them much more black and white, if I could put it that way, very clean. Whereas with the plain zebra, that shadow stripe almost makes that white not as white because it's got that sort of gray shadow over it. Whereas these are very stripy. That might not really make sense, but in my head it works. Well, this is a great view of that one on the left hand side with its bum towards us, of the top of the tail that I was talking about. Sort of comes down the back. And at the end, it just forms this beautiful pattern. I really hope that you all can see what I'm talking about. Um, and it's only on these mountain zebras that you get this. I always admire it whenever I spend time with them. For me, at Mountain Zebra National Park in South Africa. Well, it's a pleasure. I'm glad you've enjoyed learning the difference between the two. And immediately when we started the show and the zebras were sort of walking away, or the plain zebras were moving across and the other ones were in the background, I was like, oh, those are the other zebras. They're not the same ones. So I'm very grateful that we could have this opportunity to show you all. So yes, Juma is very hot today. Here where I am doing our live safaris from and hosting the show. It's Will you say that your weather station says that it's 37.78 degrees Celsius? Gosh, it's warm. I concur. I can tell you from being on the ground that it is warm. I am grateful that the humidity is not as high. So we've just been saturated with such humid weather that even if the temperature isn't that hot, it feels like it's 10 degrees warmer because you're just sweating all the time and everything is damp and soggy. Um, but what's great about today is I feel like it will dry out a lot, at least by the afternoon. And then we're supposed to have, with this tremendous heat, storms that come through tonight. So it probably won't affect our afternoon drive at all. But I am looking forward to more rain. I have to say the bush is just thriving at the moment. This is the time for rain. We desperately wish for rain when it's so dry. Towards the end of the dry season in September, October, even into the beginning of November, when the dams were so empty. And also, with more rain comes more special birdies, which always makes me happy. This morning, I got to see a dwarf bittern. I'm so chuffed about that. I really can't believe it. I was so shocked. I even called it the wrong thing. But I'm glad we got to show it on Drive as evidence of the sighting. And when these fresh seasonal puddles, they bring a lot of aquatic activity, lots of frogs and toads as well. Sorry, frogs, not toads, frogs, and a lot of other things that these birds come to feast on. Well, this has been a lovely start to the show. Goodness me. Let's head over to Hyena Pan. Oh, wow. I haven't been here since I've been doing the show again this year. And look how green it is. It's almost irrecognizable. I can't even see the other side of the waterholes. The mapani trees have grown so many leaves, and a wonderful big herd of ellies as well. Catherine, you say that that sounds like the perfect weather for you, and you can't wait to be here in a few days to warm up. Well, I'm sure you are very much looking forward to that. And yes, I will say that what's lovely about the rainy season is that we've got this sort of peak hot day, and already tomorrow it's about 10 degrees cooler, uh, and overcast, possibly drizzly, for the next 2 or 3 days. So it comes in sort of these waves, a hot day and then it cools down and then it's humid and then it's hot again. So unlike last year before the big rains came at the end of the year, end of November, December, goodness me, it was like 38 degrees for 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a row until the rains finally broke it. So that was, and I found now living in the low felt for the last 4 5 years that that tends to happen every year. It might just be in my head, but I've noticed that towards the end of the year, we get this heat wave that comes through that lasts for 2 or 3 weeks. It's ridiculously hot every single day with no relief. And then once the rains come through and the big storm and the real heavy rain comes normally January into February, you don't have as excessively hot weather. So you've got like today's 36, 37 degrees, but then we've had lovely weather around 30 degrees the last week or so, with the odd cool day in between. And then now, like I said, tomorrow it's dropping back down to about 26 degrees again. So it's still always, it's never cold. And even when it rains, it's still very comfortable. And it's what I love about the summer. It is awesome. Yes, Rebecca, it does seem like a pretty big elephant herd. They're all moving through the thickets here. And this one big herd would actually be made up of multiple smaller family groups that come and meet up at a common resource like a waterhole like this. And even this waterhole is so much fuller compared to the last time that I saw it. Botswana has also had a lot of rain. Well, there all those airlies are busy. Somewhere there is actually water there as well. There must be maybe an inlet or part of the overflow for this water hole that's there. Or maybe just it's expanded so much that it goes around the corner now as well. Lady Macbeth, yes, I believe it, that herds of 2,000 have been seen in Botswana, but like you say, they meet up and then break off into more manageable sizes. I would love to see a herd of 2,000 elephant one day. I think I've seen about 150 in the Greater Kruger before. But I mean, 2,000, that must just be unbelievable to see them all grouping together like that. Oh, I'm glad to see this. There are some more at the water. And usually here at the pan, last year we had them coming very close towards us because we had the sort of outlet where they pump the pan in the winter months to provide water. And it's obviously the cleanest and preferred source of water for all the elephants. But now that there's so much fresh water that's fallen from the rain, they don't doesn't seem like they need to come this side as often. I'm sure we still might get one or two. Ooh, are those hippos? I think they are. It's lovely to just take a very slow pan and have a scan around. Even these mapani trees for birds that will be nesting. I don't think I've seen hippos here before. Very cool to see that they've arrived here as well to take advantage of all the fresh water. Wow, wow, wow. Look at all this water. I apologize to many of you who probably have seen this waterhole already, but I have not. And this is quite remarkable. It is really so full. Ah, there's the trough that I was talking about there, that sort of little cement well where they provide water in the dry months. But that is not necessary at the moment whatsoever. Mika's directing and has just told me that we haven't had this on the show for about 2 months or so. So I don't think anyone, well, through Live at the Waterhole, at least in the last 2 months, would have seen it so full. So this is awesome to be able to share with you. Well, let's head over to another place where some elephants are having some fun. Oh, well, this is great, isn't it? These boys are having a marvelous time here in the mud. One even on his knees to get a little bit lower down. Well, let's head back over to Tembe. I feel I've gotten to know these boys a little bit over the last week or so. And this one with the ear that's flopped forward is quite distinguishable from the others. They all seem to be just taking a moment. I'd love to see the one that's on his back knees stand up. That's going to be a real bit of entertainment, I think. It's interesting that they're all very happy together here. There's not too much sort of anyone getting cross with the other one for being too much up in their personal space. All happy to share together. You can see the one on the left there using its foot to splash about the mud and really churn it up a little bit, get the ground mixed into the water. They really like a good sludgy texture, and then they spray it on themselves to stick onto their skin and keep them cool. I do wonder if this elephant now is having a lot of fun, sort of stirring the mud around. We had the most incredible sunset safari yesterday with the elephants swimming in the waterhole close to our camp, where the dam can is actually, which was featured in the show earlier. And oh, it was magical. What a magical moment that we had. And it just reminds me of those bulls having fun in the water, swishing around. Well, now that this elephant's decided to move along, let's see what's happening at Tau. Well, here we have some waterbuck that are coming to the water hole and also need to check the birds out here carefully. As, like I was saying, with the influx of fresh water comes a lot of aquatic creatures like frogs and other crustaceans and things like that, that these rarer birds seem to travel about following, and that can lead to one or two special ones like striped crake and lesser moorhen popping out along the way. But it's so beautiful here. Oh my word. The colors are gorgeous, and these waterbuck are so beautiful as well. Looks like a bachelor herd. Big bull here with big horns and three young males with tiny little horns popping out. Very interesting. There's something. Oh, it's an Egyptian goose. I thought there was something walking in the grass there, but it's so much longer now. But it is just an Egyptian goose. And there's a red knobbed coot in the water. Remember, everyone, that this is a live and interactive show. I would love to chat to you all. And please, if you do have anything, send it through to us. And you can do so on the Wild Earth website or the app. You can also chat to us in the YouTube chat stream. Anything that's on your mind or that you'd like to let me know. Or you can join the conversation on X using the hashtag Wild Earth. But what a stunning scene here at Tal. There's another waterbuck that's arrived and just transformed. For anyone who doesn't know what this place looks like in the dry season, it's worth having a look up for that to compare. It's just amazing to see it flourishing like this. And you can only imagine how happy the animals must be. Apparently, there was quite an intense sighting here. I don't think it was during our show, but at other times with the African feed, a crocodile attacked a wildebeest and basically bit its bottom jaw. And I believe it only got the jaw; it didn't get the rest of the wildebeest, from what I understand. And the wildebeest sort of ran off. Um, that was I couldn't believe it when I heard it. I actually haven't seen the clip as of yet, Just goes to show the crocodiles are so well hidden now in this water. When it was dry, they were quite easy to spot. And I see our weaver tree here at Tau does have a few nests on, even though the elephants completely pushed it over during the dry season to get to the leaves and bark and things. There are a few nests that are hanging there now. Benjamin, oh, that is such a difficult question to answer. I because I live and work out here, I must say that each season has its own specialness that I enjoy. Growing up, we visited the Lowveld in the June, July school holidays, typically, or around April, over the Easter holidays, when obviously those were the times in South Africa we have longer breaks for school. And so I sort of always associated the bush with being more bare and drier, um, more khaki tones. But the first time I experienced the low felt in summer um, was actually about 5 years ago, and it blew my mind. Not even the low felt, but also northern KwaZulu Natal, where I did my training. And I just loved it so much. I was like, what? There's so much bird life and there's water everywhere and it's stunning. It's hot, but it's also it's beautiful. And I fell in love with summer in the bush. So, like I said, summer brings, of course, plenty of bird life, but you have to deal with the heat, humidity, storms, and it does make it trickier to spot animals, without a doubt. The bush is so much thicker. Whereas in the wintertime and into the very dry season, you have the opposite. So you have much thinner vegetation, much you can see far deeper into the bush, like it's the difference is unbelievable. 100 meters compared to like 10 meters. um and also with the dry season, animals are in poorer condition. You often get some incredible sightings with predator hunting and that sort of thing. Obviously you can always see something hunt in the summer as well, but just based on being able to see it for yourself, the it's more common in the wintertime. So in terms of quality of game viewing, potentially better in the drier months, but I mean you can see incredible things in the summer as well. Also, the look of the parks is different. So of course now in the summer with the rain, it's beautiful and green. There's flowers, there's insects everywhere. It's stunning. Whereas in the winter you have a far less bugs, which is actually sometimes quite an enjoyable thing. So you can sit outside and not have to worry about insects flying into your hair, um, realistically, or your dinner. Depending on the priorities. Um, but it's not as pretty. It's not as green. There's no real. The grass isn't flowering, and the flowers aren't flowering, and whatever. So in an ideal world, I would say experience both. Um, Probably the time that my husband and I really enjoyed going to the park. Of course, we live out here, but if we're going on a holiday or while family's coming to visit, we normally go during April or May, and then again possibly in October. But family holiday or bush holidays usually take place in April or May in the year, and that's just a nice mix. I think it's still quite green in the bush, not green like this, but the trees have leaves on. There's still grass around, so it's not bone dry and very depressing because of the lack of water. There's still water in the water holes, but the bush is starting to thin out a bit, and it's not as hot. The heat can be, it can be very intense if you're not used to it. So thanks for that question, Benjamin. I hope it answers you. Like I say, it's an individual preference. It also depends what you want to get out of your safari and what your priorities are. Without a doubt, if you're a birder, summertime is the time to come after the rains, without a doubt. It is incredible. Let's head over to Stony Point. Well, we are watching a whole group of cormorants here, all busy sort of swimming, I suppose, but also looking for food, doing their thing, very, very busy, diving under the water, swimming, catching fish for the most part. Some of them are out on the rocks as well, drying off. Johan, you'd like to know what the most exciting bird is that I've seen on the Juma Dam cam? Ooh, that's a great question. I can't say that I saw it live on the dam cam, but I've seen clips of what's been seen there. The one was a broad-billed roller. I thought that was very cool. And I mean, Pell's fishing owl. I heard the clips of it calling, and there was some eye shine at some stage that was also seen, which would be unbelievable to actually see for myself. I'm waiting for that day to arrive. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll happen this year. One bird that we won't be seeing on dam cam most likely is the African penguin. That one is quite restricted to Stony Point of our camera locations. Oh, Johan, you mean any dam cam? Okay, no, well, that opens the range. I mean, what I said still holds value, but I would say that the bird that I would choose very exciting sighting. I was live with African at the time. Was a juvenile European honey buzzard that we had in Botswana. Unbelievable. Also a very rare sighting and very cool to have been able to show live to the viewers on that show. We are. Oh, hello there. Is that little lizard again? Looks quite large. It could be an agama. It's a very big head that's also a little bit colorful. I think this is a southern rock agama. How cool is this? When I saw it, I was like, this is a lot bigger than the other lizards that we see, or part of the squamata family. That sort of got the girdling, which is different. You can see very large, sort of difficult to describe, triangular shaped head, and also that coloration that's coming through towards the top of the body. How cool is this? Definitely has come out to enjoy the sunshine, that's for sure. Oh, good Dusty chased it away. I think there was a Dusty that came there. It was either going up or coming down, but the Garma moved away. Foley, earlier you sent through a question asking me what my favorite animal is. Well, I can tell you it's very difficult to say, I must be honest, but I will go back to the same answer that I give, which is a baby rhino, because a baby rhino is the cutest thing in the whole entire world. I have yet to see another baby animal that is as cute as a baby rhino. Oh no, it is Darcy. I think that's another, I think that might be the girdled lizard. Or it's another agama. It's a bit tricky to tell from here. But this Darcy is fascinated. I think it's a young one. One of the young ones we saw suckling at the end of last year. Look how it's looking up. But yes, Foley, I adore baby rhinos, especially when they're just a few months old, like under 6 months. They are just absolutely adorable. They act to me like a little puppy, and I think that's why I love them so much, because I love dogs. And then I also just love elephants. I can spend forever with them. Baby elephants are also cute, but I must say that a baby rhino is cuter. I just had to check that the feed isn't frozen here because of how still these two animals are. Dusty is so focused. I think it actually was frozen, everybody. Anyway, we've headed here to Juma, and it's lovely to hear all the birds calling, and it's just a beautiful scene. Some white faced whistling ducks there. And I think now that there's so much water around and the insects are starting to thrive and the frogs' eggs are going to develop and the eggs, the tadpoles, everything, there's just going to be so much food around. We're going to have a lot of water birds coming here and hopefully some special ones as well. I believe that an African crake may have been seen here at this waterhole. So I'm definitely going to keep my eyes peeled to see if we can spot it at any stage. That would be super special. Jen, you say that you assumed that Dusty was asleep, sleeping with his eyes open. Um, yeah, I just thought it was super concentrating on that lizard or gama that was above it. But I was impressed that it could see it and just managed to stay still for so long. Fortunately, these ducks aren't frozen. They are very much here and moving. You can also see a little grebe. I think it's the little grebe. I did see them here yesterday on the water, and moving around. There's two of them. It just went underneath, actually. I must be honest with you. It's sort of in the middle between the two bushes that are right in front of the camera. Well, directly sort of in the middle of the screen at the moment. Hopefully, it'll pop up soon. But little grebes are adorable. They are such cute little water birds. I don't know when it's going to pop out again. Goodness me. Ah, there's something popped up there. I think that is on the little grebe. And I remember quite a few years ago now, it must be 4 or 5 years ago, there was a pair that was nesting here. And I remember James coming past and always stopping to show us the little nest that they had built. Maybe we'll get another little grebe nest here at the waterhole. That would be awesome. Let's head over to Safari Hook. Oh, nice. The waterbuck have come close here again. I love when they do this. Annabelle, I know what you say. Oh, hello. That was a whole mouth of grass. Um, they do look a little bit darker, but no difference in species or anything like that. From what I'm aware of, they still have that ring around the tail. But it might also just be the coloration, but possibly the waterbuck that are in Namibia are slightly just genetically, they have darker fur. I know with the kudu that we see here in the greater Kruger region are very dark, I think, in comparison to the ones that I've seen in the Eastern Cape, for example. They're much lighter brown, but they're still the greater kudu. just slightly the gene pool that's being bred in one particular area, that particular gene has come through stronger than in other places. So sometimes fur coloration does vary. Yeah, we're talking about you. Penelope, I do too. I love these close ups and a really good view just to show how fluffy these girls' necks are. Gen Mac, they do have beautiful horns. They have some of the most beautiful horns, I think. They really suit the waterbuck. Just like I think probably the most magnificent horns in the bush are that of the male kudu, just because of that spiral. But the waterbuck horns are also really impressive. Oh, Laura Moore, I will keep a look out for that. I assume that scooped forward, you mean different from the normal sort of scooping or bending. So I will have a look. That is sort of the standard shape for the waterbuck horn. Almost a recurve on it. But have a look if any come past that have something different. Yes, Annabelle, I was actually thinking that earlier. You know, they have this sort of very fluffy fur, mostly on the females. I would say the males are definitely not as fluffy as the females are. They bulk out a little bit, and that fur gets quite sleek. But yes, very stringy tails. Actually, if I think of kudu and inyala, they have very fluffy, full tails, and by comparison, the waterbuck really doesn't. Very stringy, and you'd think that that sort of fluffiness would carry through to the tail, but it doesn't. It looks like there's a flock of mouse birds that have come down to drink there on the right. I'm not sure if they're mouse birds, but they were birds that came there with quite long tails. Unless they were maybe Namakwa doves, or maybe a mixed flock of different things. There we go. It is a Namakwa dove. Oh, I'm very happy to have confirmed it. You could see that beautiful black face with the orange beak, long tail. As soon as I saw that long tail, I was like, oh, there's only so many things that it could be. And that would have been the male there with that very black face and orange beak. It seems that they're coming back and forth. There's a female. Oh, well, not actually. Yes, it was actually. That was the female. But there seems to be some other birds in between. But how cool is this? Oh, there's a bunting there. Look at that streaky head. I'm not sure which one at this distance. How awesome is that? So that's the male they're drinking. The female was there as well. She just flew off. Oh. Oh. Oh, I thought it landed on top of the Namakwa dove. That's something different though. It's also got the white brow. Very difficult just with the lack of being able to see too much detail. But definitely the other one was a bunting, possibly cinnamon breasted. Oh, look, they're coming to drink. That is so beautiful. And these Namaqua doves are gorgeous. The coloration. It's incredible to see that they don't hang out for long at the water. They just come, have a sip, and then leave again and fly around and then come back. And I think it's because they feel vulnerable. Often, when doves like this are drinking, something like a falcon can hunt them, take them out, even jackals. So they don't stick around for too long. Well, that was a real bonus. I wasn't expecting. Well, I don't think we've really done small birds here at Safari Hook before. So that was fantastic to be able to share that with you. Raw, you were just wondering about the follow me signs and how they prevent carnivores from following them. So, the follow me signs that we talk about can be in prey species or predator species, and they really only work for their kind that are looking out for that particular thing that makes it easier for them to spot. So, it's not, I mean, they don't refer to them as follow me signs at all. It's just a marking that's generally at the back, the side of the backside of the ears or around the bum or something like that, that is seen by the other animal of that species when another animal is turned around or has their back to them. And it's quite an important thing for youngsters to be able to spot the adult, or for other members of a pride to be able to see each other in long grass. So that's why it doesn't really stand out for predators to be able to follow prey as such. Well, let's head up for a bit of East Africa this afternoon. Oh, very cool. There is a hammerkop here. Oh, it's calling. This is so cool. What a view. And what a typical sort of sound, very distinctive call, the hammerkop. I don't know what's going on, everyone. Maybe it feels like it's got something stuck in its throat. Such a sort of overlooked bird, I would say. And quite plain, but also beautiful in its own way. Named after the shape of its head, looking like a hammer, with the feathers that extend to the back and the beak towards the front. But the scene here at this waterhole with the reflections is always just, I mean, look how perfect that is. It's beautiful. And this is another great spot where we see a lot of little birds around. Also baboons that come through almost every day. Well, that was lovely just to see that hammerkop. Let's head over to Tembe to finish up the show. Well, the boys are back and enjoying their spot once again by these muddy hollows. That elephant has such gorgeous tusks. Wow, they are really long. Not every day that you see elephants with such long tusks anymore. Well, everyone, it has been a fantastic show. Thank you so much for joining me. It was my absolute pleasure to be with you, and I will be back with you tomorrow as well. We will be live this afternoon at 4 p.m. If any of you would like to stick around for the sunset safari, I'd love to see you out on drive to join us as we head off to see what we can find this afternoon in the heat. But nevertheless, thank you for everyone who sent through all your comments and questions as well. We really appreciate it. It's been a lovely show filled with elephants and birds along the way, and it's just been a great relaxing time with you all. Enjoy your day or evening ahead wherever you are, and maybe I'll see you out on drive later. Goodbye for now.